Sue. Hi Abs. Hi Serena. Hi Miriam. Hello, hello. Hi Abs. How are you? Hope you're staying sane, which is more than I am. Good evening. Hi Miriam. Hi Roz. Welcome everybody. Can you see my pyjamas? Yes you can. You can see my pyjamas. Let's tilt it a little bit so that we're not looking at my husband's pyjamas. Hi Sue. Hi Christine. Hi Tom. Hi everybody. Hi Karen. Hi Alison. Just going to say a few hellos. This is the only time I really speak to anybody. Hi Jane. Hi Liz. Hi Crafting Martha. Hi Marianne. Welcome everybody. Hi Pat. I'm just waiting a few moments to see if anybody wants to join us. Hi Sue. Hi Ginny. Oh, how is everybody? Hi Lisa. How are you all? Are you all well? Cooey. Yes, Gina. Cooey. What was it that they said on Abs's live? Was it cuckoo? No, what was it? I can't remember what it was in French now. Just posted a card again. Oh, I'll have to have a look, Miriam, after the live. Yes, for ladies alone, ladies and gentlemen alone. It's a lovely idea, Miriam. Hope you're well, Lisa. Or at least staying tucked inside. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Karen. Hi, Lynn. I'm just waiting a few moments. What time is it? Yes, it's only just coming up to 6 o'clock now. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Christine. Hi, Carmen. Hope your mum's well, Carmen. Hi, Tracy. Have you decided on them stamps yet, Tracy? I haven't. I've got stuff everywhere. All over the floor, all over my desk. And actually, the lives are going to get progressively worse the more products that I pull out, because it's going to get to the stage where I actually can't find anything, because it takes a bit of I don't know, I need a bit of a kick at the moment, because I'm just for motivation. I'm struggling. All the better for hearing your voice. Oh, bless you, Lynn. Listening to my waffles. So what have I done today? I've been for a walk. Hi Alison. I've been for a walk today. I went for a walk with my daughter, who's a lot taller than I am, so her steps were a lot longer than mine, so it felt like I was almost running, which, trust me, I can't run, but still at work at the moment. Oh, thanks for still working, Ginny. So yes, I went for a walk and I did 7,000 steps, but now look, it's on 8,597 steps, so I'm quite pleased with that. Here, we're coming closer. Oh, so yes, we are coming closer, Miriam. I think it's just important to support each other, really, isn't it? So yes, so I've done my 8,000 steps, so I at least got some fresh air just to get out for a short while, because I was feeling a bit, I don't know, flat. With all the news and everything, because we're watching the news continually, I feel really flat. So I just had to get some fresh air, and that really helped. Hi Janet. Thanks for joining me. Hi Jan. Hi Ange. So yes, so hi Dawn. So I've had some lovely fresh air, because we're allowed one bit of exercise per day, aren't we? I'm glad somebody loves my waffles, Serena. We're allowed one exercise per day, aren't we? I'm sure that's right. So I've had my exercise for today. Yes, I'm definitely struggling with motivation, Carolyn, so I thought the fresh air. You've done your prep for the little book. Oh, yay to get what you're organised, Lindsay. I haven't done my prep. I'm getting so easily sidetracked. So what I find is, if I do a Facebook Live, it sort of brings some order to my day. Does that make sense? It brings a little bit of order to my day if I do a Facebook Live, because it feels like I'm sitting down and I'm working, if that makes sense. You did a 1.5 hour walk, did you? Wow, Jane. Yes, I think mine was about 45 minutes. Hey up, Caroline. Hey up. Hey up, duck. So, yes, so it's sort of, doing a Facebook Live sort of brings some order to my day. My husband is still working. He's actually in the room next to me. Hi, Sue. Hi, Vicky. So he's in the room next to me. So he's still working. So he's got some order to his day. I've got loads to do. I've got magazine articles, loads to do, but finding the motivation, I don't know what's up with me. It's doom and gloom. So it's sort of, trying to pick yourself up each day. Anyway, that's enough waffle for me. Out of the clean air in the sun. Yes, it was lovely being out in the sun. You had trouble finding me, Belinda? I'm surprised anybody has trouble finding me. Evening, Jennifer. Hi. So I thought what I'd do is I'd do some simple cards. Must do my prep. I've done no prep, Dawn. You're far more organised than me. So I thought I'd show you the canvas. You know the canvas that I did on, was that Sunday? I don't even know what day of the week it is. Hi, Diane. Hope you're well. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jennifer. We did the canvas on Sunday, I think, on a Facebook Live. I'm sure it was Sunday. I didn't do anything yesterday. No, because I watched abs. So this is the canvas from Sunday. And look, I got it to stick. It's all sturdy. Hi, Jenny. Oh, I can't even read. So it's all sturdy. Do you like the shape to make sure it's all sturdy? So this is the canvas from Sunday. You clean the salon, ready to go back. That's a good idea, Dawn. I need to do some cleaning, but I'm not motivated for that either. I dusted the lounge and I dusted the dining room. Does that count? You had a bit of good news. My grandson did his first wee in a potty. Yay, Serena. Yay for first wees in the potty. Now I feel old. I feel old thinking about that. So this is the canvas that we did on Sunday, and I got the magnifying glass to stay. So this is what we did on Sunday night. Was it Sunday night when we went live? I think it was 5:30, wasn't it? Yes, it is hard when they're working from home, Ros, I must admit. Hi, Chris. So this is what we created on Sunday. I'm just doing my normal waffling. Hi, Tom. I think I said hi, Tom, didn't I? But you forget, when it's scrolling up, you forget who you've said hello to. Plus, my brain cells left my brain about 3 days ago, and I've only got a pea-sized brain anyway. So, any second. Ian, can you tell Ryan I'm on a live? He's just rang me for a FaceTime. Are we still all there? My son just rang me for a FaceTime because he can't come and see me, and he comes and sees me every day, and he's just rang for a FaceTime live. So I do apologise if you just got interrupted then. So this is what we created live, and I actually got that to stick. So I'm really chuffed with that. Focus on the good. And I thought that was perfect for what we did on Sunday. So that's what we did on Sunday. So if you want to catch that live, it's still available. It's on YouTube, and it's also on my Facebook timeline. I've done 6 loads of washing, painted the table in the garden, had a nana nap, and now chilling. Good grief, Christine. You put me to shame. Absolutely put me to shame. I've not done anything. So when I did that canvas, you know when I said to you, I'll finish it. So I finished it, but then what I did was I did a card to match. So I'll post them on Facebook probably tomorrow, but I did a card to match. So it proves that the Facebook Lives sort of get you going. I've done a few video calls to a family today. Yes, it's nice having the calls, but that was my son calling me, so I'll call him afterwards. I'm still recovering from helping my son move. I'm not surprised. If I had to help my son move now, I have to recover. So I did a card, and that was to match it. So I'm really pleased with how those turned out. And it's really sturdy, because I was wondering whether I'd get that magnifying glass to stick. So that was from Sunday. Let me move those out the way. So what we're going to use today is we're going to use, let's move it out the plastic just because that's irritating. I haven't used these stamp sets for a bit. So I'm using these stamp sets. So I'm using Tangled Rectangles, and we're using Timeless Moments. So So them are the ones we're going to use. I was quite pleased with the card, Ros, especially with it, you know, sort of bought 20 simple, clean and simple cards to the elderly home. Oh, that's lovely, Miriam. That's really kind of you. So yes, so that's what I'm going to be using today, and we're going to be doing some simple cards. I may do 2 cards, I may do 1 card. I can't make my mind up. And I've got a little giveaway. So I'm going to do a giveaway, and this time, anybody that creates a card or a tag or an ATC using any inspiration from the live, then I'll draw a winner randomly from those posts. So if you tag me in the post, if you just tag Tracy Evans, share it in All and Create Fanatics or share it in my group. I think I can put a link. Let's see if it'll allow me to put a link to my group. Paste. There's a link to my group. Hopefully somebody will put a link to All and Create Fanatics. Bless you, Chris. Thank you. If you'd like to share, that'd be wonderful. And we can share the lives just so that we can keep everybody going. So this is the little giveaway. Something a bit different this time. Let me get them all out the way. Hang on a second, because I've picked some different things this time. So we've got this stamp set. And the reason I've chosen this stamp set as part of the giveaway, it says, "You have been my friend, and that in itself is a tremendous thing." This is by Janet Klein. Well, you're all my friends, my virtual friends, so I thought that was quite apt. Sorry about the shine, the glare, but it says, "You have been my friend, and that in itself is a tremendous thing." That's by Janet Klein, so that's part of the giveaway. And then what else is part of the giveaway? Because we used a magnifying glass in the live on Sunday, I thought we would give away a magnifying glass. I'll just make your eyes go funny by magnifying the letters underneath. So we've got a magnifying glass to give away. We've got a embroidery hoop. And I've got these vintage letters here. I thought you could use them in your projects. So we've got some vintage letters. Don't ask me what letters are there. I've just picked them up randomly. So you've got some vintage letters. You've got 2 of these pots by Clever Cuts by Ali Reeve. So you've got 2 of them pots. I think they're like plastic, so you can paint them. So you've got those pots. You've got 2 wooden slices. I thought they'd be quite good. Hi Sue, you found me, yay. So you've got these wooden pieces that you can add to your artwork, and you've got these MDF tags. So that's my giveaway, and if you'd like to share the live, that'd be wonderful. And the giveaway is going to go to somebody who is inspired by the live to create a little piece of art, and if you tag me in that art, then I know to put you in the draw. And it can be anything. I don't care if it's an ATC coin, a tiny, teeny weeny tag, a card to send to a friend. I don't care what it is. Just as long as you tag me, that'd be wonderful. And then I can randomly draw that winner. I've done all the other draws. I've drawn all the other winners from the other Facebook Lives, and all those have gone out. And all my books have gone out for the live class in my group. So they've all gone out. So I just thought I would show how this is the stamp. And just to show that sometimes you don't have to go over the top. My lovely friend saw the canvas we did last year in your workshop with the hoop and asked if it was an inner tube. Hey, you could use an inner tube. Why not? So what I did was, I just thought I'd show you that sometimes this is not what we're making, but sometimes you don't have to go over the top. All I've done with the background there is I've just stamped it. Hi Marilyn. And I've coloured it with Inktense pencils. And even just that background on its own, you could do that all the way over the background and just colour it with Inktense pencils. And I love the depth that you've got with the Inktense pencils. And you could literally add a sentiment and a little flower and your card would be done. I'm just giving you some ideas here initially. So your card would then be done. And you don't have to make it too complicated. So I was practicing then. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going off the cuff. Well, what a surprise. I will show you some other ideas as well. I've got my card. I've got Pink Frog. Hi, Jane. So you're not late, Rizwana, don't worry about it. I've just shown the giveaway, that's all, but I can show that later. So if anybody would like to share, that'd be wonderful. I won the giveaway from last week. That's gone, Gail. I'm so pleased you won. So, and I'm glad it's a little booster for you. So you're very welcome, Gail. That's actually gone out in the post, so I'm hoping you will get that any day. So I've got Pink Frog watercolour card, and it's smooth, so it means I can stamp on it. I think I'm sending time in the kitchen with the kids off. Spending more time in the kitchen. No, my husband does all the cooking, so I'm really lucky. Don't know how I missed that stamp. I just thought I'm trying to make things so they make sense, and I'm trying to pick giveaways that mean something, and I'm trying to support my fellow design team members as well. So that one by Janet just seemed apt because you're all friends on Facebook, and you've all been brilliant over the last few weeks. You found me all on your own, Sue. Hey. Hi Heidi, hi Joe, hi Kay, welcome everybody. So what I've got is a card, because we did a canvas last time. I'm doing a card this time, and what I'm going to do is I've decided, just while we're sitting here, we're going to make a simple card now with the 2 stamps, and then we'll do a little jelly press background, because I was asked by one lady if I could do a simple gel press background, so I thought I'd do a simple gel press background as well. Oh, John's doing the cooking, is he, Dawn? Yay, me too. Ian's doing the cooking. Well, after he's finished work, he's working at the moment, bless him. So what I've got is 4.5 inches by 6.5 inch piece of Pink Frog watercolour card. Not worked out how to share without leaving the live. Oh, I think there's, if you're on the live, James, there's a little button on the left that says share, and I think you just share it, I think. But come on, James, you know what a technophobe I am. And you need to tell me what you need to do to enter the prize. So what you need to do, Jennifer, is if anything inspires you on the live, I don't care if it's the colour, if it's the stamp, if it's the way I blend, I don't care what it is that inspires you, whether it's my waffle. You know, you could be inspired by my waffle. Goodness knows why you would be inspired by my waffle, but it can be inspired by anything. Organising an order. Bless you, Chris. Yes, it's lovely that you're supporting the stockists. Bless you all. Hi, Mary. So you can be inspired by anything. One little bit, one snippet. As long as you tag me and say inspired by Tracy Evans's live, then that's brilliant. And I'll draw a random winner. I always do it randomly, and the prize will be given to a randomly drawn winner. And then when I go shopping for my milk, I'll then post the prize at the same time, because I don't want to go out unnecessarily. So I just go out when I'm getting my milk. So I have to have my milk and my chocolate, or else I can't live. Although if I carry on with these, lockdowns, I'm going to roll out of this house at about 40 stone. That's why I went for a walk today. The way you say flower. I know, Karen, I know. So what I've got here is I've got a die cut circle, and this is to show that inspiration comes from all around. This die cut circle was in my demo bag that I demo with for James. So, oh, sorry, you've got no milk, Liz. I went out early to get milk and to post a parcel, and then I came straight back home and locked myself away. So I got this die cut circle, and it was in my zip up bag that I normally use to demo for James. And when I pulled it out, it had got these colours on and this bit of stamping. That's why I decided to use this stamp, and I'm going to use these colours, and that's where the inspiration came from. So there was no plan, literally that's where the inspiration came from. So I've got this die cut circle, and again, there is no plan. That was literally my inspiration. So this is, the share button gets info watch party on your page now instead. And you end up watching yourself. Oh no. Oh, I'd share it afterwards, don't worry, share it afterwards. It's much easier afterwards. That's what I do, as I share it afterwards. So I can't be doing when it gets too technical and too complicated. I can't be bothered with it. So this is what I mean by you can be inspired by anything from the live. My inspiration was from this die cut piece that was in my zip up bag. You missed the beginning, Michelle, no problem. I'll go through the beginning and explain how you can win the prize a bit later on. So don't worry, I waffle for England anyway. So I'll explain how you can win the prize. So the idea of this live is we're doing simple. We're not doing overcomplicated. So you carry on talking to each other. Oh yes, you can get your local milkman to deliver as well. And Ian, because Ian, my husband, is one of his dad's main carers, we got an order online today, which was very lucky. Ian logged in at 7 a.m. and he got an order for his dad online, so that was quite handy. Right, what we're going to do, I've already lost things looking on my desk now. Let me see if I can spot my stencil. I already can't see my stencil that I was going to use. This is what happens when you do a Facebook Live and everything's all over the place. I had a stencil. Just bear with me while I move my iPad. Where's that stencil gone? Bear with me a second. Great, I've now lost the stencil. Oh, I haven't. It's there. Wonderful. We found it. Right, we're back. So, if you prefer to share on your world, you need to write a post option. Oh, thanks, Tom. Oh, I'm such a technophobe. I really am. So, I'm simple, so this will be good for me. I'm simple as well, Sue. I like simple. So what I'm using is, because I was inspired by these colours on here, I then literally went for those colours. I didn't think about it, I just went for those colours. Because sometimes when you overthink it, that's when you can't think of ideas. So I didn't overthink it, I just went for those colours. So I'm using picked raspberry, or as some like to call it, pickled raspberry. I can see... Yes, I'm waffling again, Shally. Oh, I'm terrible. So I've got picked raspberry and I've got broken china. So those are the colours that I'm using. I've got my cut and dry foam, again, because that was easier to reach. I couldn't find my blending tools because my craft room's a tip. So let's just be honest. What you need to do is when you're inking up your cut and dry foam, don't just ink it up once and then go straight to blending. You need to prime your cut and dry foam or your ink blending tool. You need to prime that. And what that means is you need to add a really good thick layer of ink. So that means go to your ink pad and layer that ink several times, not just once. You need to do it several times. And then go to blending the colour over your die cut circle. That's what it means when you prime your cut and dry foam or you prime your blending tool. And if you do that, you get a much richer, smoother blend if you do that. Go back to your ink pad and add layers of that colour and you will get a smooth, rich blend. You won't get a smooth, rich blend if you just dab it once and then try and blend. You just won't get it. Thanks, Tom, I just did it. You see, when I go on a next live now, I'm going to listen to what Tom just said and then try and do it, because then I look like I know what I'm talking about and I look all intelligent. You see, because when they gave out brain cells, I was at the back of the queue. So what I'm doing is I've got a beautiful blend there. And you've been home all day and still a mess. Yeah, it's still a mess, Dawn. I've been home all day. But if I'm honest, it's because I'm struggling with motivation, and I'm being honest with you. I'm struggling to get going. I'm struggling to motivate myself. So doing these lives gives me somebody to talk to and I can drive you all mental. It gives me something to motivate myself for. Even though I've got work to do, I can't get motivated. But because I know that I'm coming to talk to you at 6 o'clock, it pushes me, if that makes sense. So it gives me a purpose. So that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So I've now got that beautiful smooth blend. So if you don't prime any of your tools with a good layer of ink, you will never ever get a good blend, ever. Even though the oxides are easier to blend than the distress inks. So what I'm doing now, as you can see, a clean piece of cut and dry foam. And if I bring this in, watch, let's move that card out the way. Look how much. I know I'm teaching some of you to suck eggs, as my gran used to say, but this is what you need to do. Look how much I'm using a circular motion with that cut and dry foam. I'm really inking up that cut and dry foam. It's soaking in to the cut and dry foam, but leaving a good layer on the top of the cut and dry foam. Hi Kim, hi everybody. If you'd like to share the video, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. Then we can reach more people. So if you can see, I've got layers of that ink, and that ink is down in the foam and sitting on the top. And it means that I'm going to get a good blend. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to blend around the outside edges, just so that it gives me, again, nice rich colour and nice rich blend. And what I'll do is I'll go over with the pink. Oh, I just love Distress Oxides. I absolutely adore Distress Oxides. But then, you know, when because we've all got things that we love. I've never sucked eggs. Hey Karen, you learn something new every time you come on my lives. Now you've learned that sucking eggs. So I'm now giving this, again, another blend. And because I'm using the oxides, and these have got a pigment dye fusion, this means that I can layer the colours and it will go one over the top of the other without creating mud. Is the cut and dry foam better than the foam sponges or pads? All I can tell you, Sue, is from my experience. I never preach that one product is better than another. What I preach is what works for me. That's just my preferred method. The reason I've got the tools as well, because I love the tools, but the reason I use cut and dry foam is I can wash it out, which means I can wash it out, and that means I can use it over and over again and a little bit more cost effective. But also, I can have all the colours under the rainbow and just these little pieces of foam in a basket in my drawer. So they both work very well, but what I find about the ink blending tools is eventually after a while, when you're doing this continually, they do wear. They will wear. Cut and dry foam will wear eventually, but it's a lot longer lasting. And I like the density, does that make sense, of the cut and dry foam. I love the density of it, and the fact that if I want to cut a big piece of cut and dry foam, if you've got dexterity problems, it makes it easier for blending. So yes, you can wash the foam pads as well and they work fine, but eventually they will wear. But for me, I do like the cut and dry foam as well. But I'm a crafter at the end of the day, Sue, and I've got both. And this was a case of, I was being a lazy madam, and this was the first thing at hand. Show the dinky egg, Tracy. What dinky egg? Oh, the dinky egg. Oh, you're joking, aren't you, Karen? Now you're going to make me admit that I emptied all my bags apart from my trolley. I haven't emptied my trolley from my workshop that I did at Amelia's. It still isn't empty. Whoops. So it's in there. So, because Karen, Gartland Karen, that you can see here in the Facebook Live, gave me a little blending tool and it was minuscule. It was about that big. They look like sweeties, actually. So as you can see, God, I can waffle. As you can see, I've got an absolutely beautiful blend of colour. If I lift that up, look at that blend. I've only got that blend, one, because the Distress Oxides are beautiful, but because I primed the tools. Tom, my head is going to explode. Setting up Sun Online schooling. Oh, crikey, no chance. So I've now got a beautiful blend of colour, and I didn't bring any kitchen roll up because I haven't got much. That's good. I'll have to use my sleeve. Oh, Tracy, that was she's I know. So now I've got that beautiful blend. I'm going to spritz with water, and I'm going to do a few blobs of water, not just a fine mist, a few blobs of water as well. And I've got no kitchen roll. Bear with me a second. I'm going to get some toilet roll, so sing to yourselves. I can't be too extravagant with the toilet roll because there isn't that much toilet roll. So whoever So what I'm going to do, hi Anna, welcome. So I'm going to blot this ink up, and then somebody will have to wipe the bottom with the toilet roll afterwards. What toilet roll? Exactly, Liz, what's that? So this is toilet roll. So I'm going to blot the ink, and then my daughter will have to she'll have to wipe her bottom with it afterwards, because I'm not wasting it. It's a rare commodity. So there we go. Look. So somebody's going to have a pink bottom because I'm not wasting it. So we've now got a lovely oxidisation. So we're just going to give that a dry. And because we've used the watercolour card from Pink Frog, it can take all that water. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I like you singing, Christine. If I sing that, everybody. I use a microfiber cloth. I've got one somewhere. Where's my microfiber cloth? Oh, here you go, Tom. Sue gave me that, so I could have used that. Never mind, somebody will have a pink bottom. Doesn't matter. But I have got a microfiber cloth, look. Are you working along with me, Jane? Yay! Oh, thanks, Francis. She'll have a lovely coloured backside. I tell you what, it's better than a dirty one. So, anyway, why do we always get onto this conversation? Why are my Facebook Lives always down in the gutter? They're just... I'm supposed to be doing... Listen, on Monday, when I do my Facebook Live after Leonie's does my one-day special, I can't go down in the gutter. I've got to be professional. So, I'm not allowed to get in the gutter. I've got to be all professional and have my professional head on. Do you think that'll happen? No chance. Toilet humour, exactly, Liz. There's always toilet humour on my Facebook Lives. It's just unbelievable. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our stamp. So we've got, what's it called? I forget the names, and they're my names. Tangled rectangles. So I'm going to use this, and this time, not a chance. Like a monkey's bum. Exactly, Sue. A monkey. You see, now I've got visions of a monkey bending over. Oh, why did I get on that conversation? Like limp and floppy. Oh no. Oh dear. I'm terrible. Just terrible. It does cheer me up. So what I'm using this time is, because I don't want it to be Lynn, I'm dreadful. It's just, hi Virginia, welcome, bonjour. That's as much, is it bonjour? How do you say, how are you? Ça va, is it ça va? Bonjour, anyway, that's as good as it gets. So this time I'm using Morning Mist rather than the black, mainly because I want my focal image to be in black, and I want my background not to be too overpowering. So I'm using Morning Mist Versifying Clair. It's a lovely grey. Oh, bless you, Liz. So I'm just inking, even though it's a small stamp, we do need a good laugh, don't we, Jane? Oh, I'm just monkey's bottoms. You see, last night, on Sunday night, it was frog spawn, bonking and poop. And now we're talking about monkey's bottoms. I mean... Bless you, Chris. Chris, I've bought loads of paints. I've bought plants online, seeds online. I spend an hour at night looking at plants. Then I go for stamps. Then I go for paints. So I'm going to be fat and bankrupt, but I'll be happy, won't I? So never mind. So next time you see me on Hachandi, you'll be like, who is that woman? She's changed so much. So what I'm doing now is use that toilet roll again, because I've got nothing else here. Need to find that circle, place my circle back over the top. I love this stamp. Do you know what else it'll look nice? Just stamped in oxides and not stamped in black. It'll look beautiful then. Just in a clean and simple card on an 8 artist trading coin. So I'm now going to stamp this and hope that it shows up in the grey. I've put the circle back over the top so that I don't stamp in the background. Microfiber cloth. Why do I keep forgetting that? It's here. Tom's just said to me, microfiber cloth. It's here and I keep forgetting to use it. Listen, I'm here live. I didn't say that I was bringing any brain cells. You know that. So I'm just lifting that acrylic block up. And lovely. I love it in grey. It's not too overpowering. So what I'm going to do now is just add a bit more stamping. And just remember that when you've got this circle here, Mrs. Roly Poly, that'll be me when I next go to her Chandy. You'll be like, I don't recognise that, but you'll only recognise the mass of red hair if I remember to take a wash. I'm still, Luke, let me just bend the camera. Luke, I'm in my hubby's pyjamas. Look how sexy that is. Does it show you my pyjamas? There you go, hubby's pyjamas. Now that's sexy. So, listen, I'm telling you, my lives are so professional. They're just so professional. So we're now, at least you can't spend on groceries. Exactly, no groceries, no toilet roll, no kitchen roll, and no petrol I'm using. So my excuse is I'll spend on craft. There you go, craft and gardening. So I'm now going to add a bit more stamping just to the base of that circle. So I'm just going to make sure I don't stamp onto the card. Now just remember that you've got a ridge here, so you're not going to get a perfect stamping where there's a ridge. So I'm just going to add a touch of stamping there because that's where I want some. That's perfect. I'll just remove that and then you get a lovely background. So what I'm going to do now is let's make it a little bit more interesting. So if you have his PJs on, is he naked? Oh dear, no, no, no. No, Ian's good. He doesn't stay in his PJs all day. He gets dressed. Dawn. My hubby's PJs only fit one leg. Actually, Ian's are really baggy. I have to tie it so it's halfway up my boobs. So that's what I have to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm using an Inktense pencil, and this is Carmine Pink. I live in my PJs as well, Chris. So this is Carmine Pink, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some shading to the squares, and honestly this is so therapeutic. I love this bit, adding some shading to the squares. Obviously it's not interesting watching for you, but we've got to do it just to show that you can create a simple card without too much effort. Although I like making a lot of effort. That's why I did the canvas on Sunday, because I like that. I call mine loungewear. And if I get them on loungewear, he got dressed so Tracy can wear them. Exactly. It saves on washing, Jane. Exactly. It saves on washing, and that's what I'm sticking to. Absolutely. So what I'm doing here is I'm building some depth to that background stamp. And if I just bring this in, look at the difference in the two of them. When it's just stamped and just coloured with Inktense pencil, you know, you get totally different looks even with one little stamp. I just think they're brilliant. And do you know what would be good with this? If you covered the whole background of the card and you Zentangled, did some doodles. I know Chris does that. You could do some doodles in there. And even better, you could do it on black card, and then you could do your doodling in white. That would look fantastic. Oh, you see, the minute I start speaking to all you lot, I get motivated. I get inspired to create. So that's what you could do with it as well. So I'm just adding some shading. I'm not going to do every one, but I still want you to have a nice project. Yes, I love colouring as well, Roz. Have you been in the PJs the whole of my isolation so far, 9 days? They are changed. Oh, that is good to know, Sue, that you're having a wash at the same time. So yes, you know, at least stay hygienic so that we haven't got sweaty armpits. I don't fancy that at all. No, I definitely have a wash. I have a bath. So that's a good thing. It's a good job you haven't got smelly telly as well. Silly question. What is Zentangle? That's how you spell it. Yes, it is. Zentangle, Sue, is when you do... There's a lot of people that really do it professionally and do designs. They might do dots and dashes, but they do them precisely. When I do Zentangle, I do my own doodles in each square. So that each square, so you could have little circles here, doodle squares here, dots and dashes here, And you can do it in coloured pens, you can do it in black and white. But if you look up Zentangle, you'll see some fantastic designs. But this would be perfect for Zentangling. But of course, I want to show you different designs, not just Zentangling. So I'm just adding this colouring and shading here. And I'm not rushing because it makes you go to sleep, Becky. Oh no. Now, I don't want you going to sleep on the live. So that isn't a good thing. Going to sleep when I've shut up waffling might be a good thing, but not while I'm waffling. So I'm trying to now judge where my squares are. So we've done enough there. We understand what we're doing. And it just gives a bit of dimension. So what you can do then is use your water brush and just drag some of that colour out. You see, I like that. I love that. Just dragging that bit of Inktense colour out, like so. It just gives it an extra dimension. I've just missed a bit of colour there. Don't use your Inktense pencils on a wet surface. You don't want that moisture going up into your Inktense pencil. So I'm just going to I was just going to moisturise that. Don't ask me where moisturise came from. But we're just going to blend this out, and then I'll hold this up so you can just see what that added bit adds to the definition of the squares. It really does add a lot of detail. I love it. Obviously, if I wasn't live, I would spend ages doing this. I would just spend ages doing this bit, just so that my squares had got some added definition. But let me just lift it up, because it's like watching paint dry, watching me colour. But let me just hold that up, just so you can see some of the can you see that definition in some of the squares? I just love it. And this is just a simple card. We're not creating anything complicated. But it really does give some definition. But you imagine that over the whole of a background and then doodled. You could sit there doodling and just do that one stamp, and you could doodle for 2 days. That would pass some time away. There you go. I'm passing your time for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this. Now, don't forget, we're going for simple. We're not going. I don't know whether James sells Inktense pencils. I'm not sure. But I love using them. They float my boat. But I'll try and remember to message you afterwards, Helen. If he hasn't got them, I can send you a link. So I'm using this stencil, and I think I'm going to create another simple card as well. Is that all right with you if I do two? You don't mind? Mind you, if you do, you can easily cut off and I can just carry on waffling to myself, can't I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of snowflake white fresco finish paint just to the corner of this stencil. Let me see if I've got a wipe. They're a rare commodity and all, but I need a wipe. Yes, I've got one. So what I'm going to do is I'm adding, let me bring this in a bit so you can see, a little bit of white paint. I'm going to bray it onto my stencil. Now what you need to remember to do is to remove the paint from the edges, because you don't want them straight lines. So you want to remove the paint there. Oh, thank you, Chris. It's only a simple card, but as long as we're all having a bit of fun, what does it matter? So we're just removing the paint from the edges, because I just want this bit of paint here. Spritz with water, and hopefully this will show up. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I just want another little detail. So we'll use that toilet roll again that my daughter's going to wipe her bottom on. Up to now, it reminds me of a planet. Does it remind you of a planet, Serena? Yes. Yes. I got abs onto Inktense pencils. I get him to spend a fortune. I like encouraging him to spend. I will hold this up shortly. I just need it to rest a little bit longer on the back of the card, just so that you can see. I'm always getting straight lines. Oh, that's because you need to wipe away the ink from the edges of the stencil. There you go, Liz. Even if you were just inspired by that, there you go. I've done my job. Even if it's just that one little bit, that's what you've learnt today. There you go. Now, I hope you can see that. We're talking adding layers in a simple process. We're talking clean and simple cards, but still drawing that eye into the card. Can you see that detail from that stencil? There. Now, if you wanted, she's going to have a multicoloured bum. I don't care. It's fine. She's not wasting it, I'm telling you. So you can see the stenciling here. Oh, sorry, Becky. Listen, I'm encouraging myself to spend. I've spent a fortune. But hey, I'm terrible. But then I love to shop. My hobbies are gardening, shopping, waffling, drinking tea, eating chocolate and crafting. Them are my hobbies. So this here means that even though we've just got that simple circle, hi Carol, we've got that simple circle there. If I hold that up, if I can get the camera angle right, you can see that even in just that simple circle, you've got loads of interest. Just from an A7 stamp and a stencil. I mean, I'm not being funny, but if we go back, look at those two backgrounds. If you don't like fussy, that could be a card in itself. No problem at all. You could even add more layers of colour and that could be a card in itself. But if you don't want to add a flower to that, you could even just do that. And that looks nice. You don't have to. Everything doesn't have to be swamped with you know what I'm like. You know I love layers. You know that canvas that I did, I adore it because I love lots of layers. But if you're somebody that teaches workshops, I feel that you've got to try and offer variety. You can't just offer one genre. You've got to try and offer lots of variety. So for me, you could keep it like that if you want. But obviously, I'm going to go up a level. Now, I seriously haven't planned all this, so I'm doing this as we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to... No, I don't want that yet. We're going to add this flower. So I want to add... This is classed as my first piece. So I want to add 2 more things to make it 3. Does that make sense? So this is 1. My flowers will be 2. And I'll add another flower and that will be 3. So I'm going to now stamp in black. So this is from Timeless Moments. And I love this. The reason I picked this is because of the moments. Because at the moment we're all valuing every moment. Because we're stuck at home. So I'm trying to make the lives mean something. We're stuck at home and we need to value every moment. Whether it's a moment that you go outside in the garden, because we're not allowed out as often. I took a walk this morning and it was beautiful. So we need to make more of those moments. We're making more of these moments in the evening at 6 o'clock. We're spending time together. We're chatting together and we're keeping each other sane. Even if I'm waffling the biggest load of rubbish on the planet talking about toilet roll. But there you go. We just need to make the most of those moments. We might be a bit down during the day, but even if we lift some moments and have an hour where we just forget a few things, then that's why I picked this. So, and it's called Timeless Moments, because that's exactly what we're appreciating. So I'm now going to stamp my flower in black. I like the word quirky as well, Serena, but then that's me. I'm a bit quirky anyway. So I'm now going to ink my stamp with the black. And as you can see, even when I stamp a little stamp, I still add layers of that ink. So I'm going to turn this on one side, just so that I can judge where my flower's going. So I'm going to add it here, like so. Now, you're adding this. It doesn't matter, Simona. It doesn't matter that you're late. These are on catch-up, so you can listen to my waffling later on. So even though it's a small stamp, I'm still allowing that ink to sit. And I'm still got moisture in that card because I've blended the Inktense pencil. I've added spritzes of water. And even though you've dried with your heat tool, it'll still have moisture in there. So you need to allow that ink to sit. So that's our first flower. Obviously, you're not going to see it much at the moment until we add that top layer. But that's fine. We're now going to add a second flower. Like so. Now you could keep it to 1 flower if you wanted, but I want to add 2 and I'll explain my reasoning in a second. So I'm now going to add this one here, like so. And again, I'm just allowing that to sit. Did I miss you using a heat? I didn't use a heat tool, did I, Liz? No, see, I was a good girl. I let it dry. It's because normally, Liz, I say let it dry naturally. But sometimes I waft the heat tool if I'm doing a Facebook Live. But obviously I'm talking a load of nonsense now because I dabbed it with the kitchen roll that my daughter's going to wipe her bottom on. The toilet roll, didn't I? Yes, we did, Liz. I told you there was no brain cells involved in this live. No brain cells were involved at all. So I've now got my 2 flowers. And I just want to extend those stems a little bit. Just a tiny bit. So just extend those stems. Now, it's all about sharing the love. So I'm now going to add a couple of hearts to my stem. There we go. Let's add it. There we go. Just a couple of hearts to my stem. Now, my thinking here is, yes, I will put it on YouTube. That's right, Becky. I always put them on YouTube because then anybody that doesn't do Facebook, anybody that's a technophobe like me, anybody that can't watch can then watch on YouTube on a big screen in their own time. So I will always add it on YouTube. A cleanly roll. Oh, Liz, that's just hilarious. Now, my thinking here is I've got 1 piece here, and with the flowers, 2, 3. So it gives me a nice balance. It would also... That's a rather big ask, Yvonne. What did Yvonne do? Where's Yvonne? Yvonne, are you doing these live events each day at 6? Oh, that might be pushing it a bit. Plus, you would be bored senseless if I did it every day at 6. Whew. Although, it does keep me going, I must admit, Yvonne, it does keep me going. So what I've got here is, I've now got these flowers cut out. These flowers were stamped when I did a demo for James, so I used these because I said to you the inspiration was those colours. So what I'm going to do now is just add a touch of shading to them flowers, just so that it brings the pink from the background into the focal image. Replying to Liz, perhaps we ought to do that. What did Liz say? Toilet, do not send me your toilet rolls. They're like gold dust. You need to frame them. You know what will happen, don't you? Everybody will have so many toilet rolls afterwards, they won't go shopping for 6 months. Oh, it doesn't matter that you're late, Jane. You can catch my wafflings on YouTube and later. So don't worry about that. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding a little bit of that pink colour. Now, you may be asking, why don't I cover the whole of that flower? I don't want to cover the whole of that flower because it will sink into the background. I want it to pop. So this is what we're going for. It's going to pop. Having that little touch of white makes it pop. So it's better to keep that white. And we're going to do another card after this. So I am going to do another one. Where's my other stamp? I'm now going to use my... I can never remember the numbers. Abs tries to get me to remember the numbers and I can never remember the numbers. And thinking about that, Abs is going live on Instagram at 7:30, I think. Yes, so I'll try not to override Abs. And I'm using, what's this one called? Heartfelt, #304. So this one's called Heartfelt, one of my favourite backgrounds, along with this square one. This square one, while I'm in isolation, is going to be a godsend because I'm going to do doodling in there. I've decided I'm going to do some doodle pieces. Because imagine if you'd done this square background and you doodle it, this one, on the acetate, if you doodled it, and you could just create loads of backgrounds and then you've got them ready for your focal image. I'm definitely going to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I just want, I've got it all sitting here beautifully, but I just want to add a touch of stamping here. So I'm just, sorry, I'm off camera. I'm using the picked raspberry and I'm just adding a tiny touch just to see what it looks like here. I love it. I love it. That's all I want. I don't want any more. I just want that tiny touch of stamping. So I don't think it'll let me paste my group again, will it? I don't. After so long, the paste option, it doesn't. No, it won't let me paste my group. But yeah, if anybody wants to join my group, I share. We're a lovely sharing group. All the All and Create Fanatics group. We all share. So I'm now going to add this here because I think that looks lovely with the popper white. And just to prove that, you know, even if you're sitting at home, you can create some simple cards. And then if you go shopping, you know, or even in 3 weeks' time, when we're not in isolation, you can send a card to somebody. Just say you're thinking about them. And then just add this. I'm just adding it to the base of the flower because I want to keep some of that dimension at the top so that I can bend the flower a little bit. Let's make sure I'm still in camera. Just bend that a little bit, that's better, just to give it a little bit of life. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to ground. Let's get a piece of card. We need to ground those flowers. Oh, honestly, they're so lovely, Sue. Everybody's so lovely. Everybody helps each other. That's what I love about these Facebook Lives. So what I need to do now, I need to ground these flowers because they're floating in midair. All bonkers together, exactly, Sue. We are all mad together, really, aren't we? Hubby posted 15 cards I made for friends. Bless you, Liz. That is so lovely. So what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter that you're late, Angie, welcome. I'm going to ground that flower. So what I'm going to do is just lift those up and use the same cut and dry foam. I don't need to add any more ink, and just ground those flowers. Just a little bit. Just ground them. Can you see that just grounds the flowers beautifully? Cost a fortune in stamps. Yeah, that's the only thing, Liz. I just keep telling myself I'm not going out in the car, so I'm saving loads of petrol. So I've now grounded that flower. And what I'm going to do now is add, this was the other thing I bought. What's it called? I bought a few tin bits. I bought some label tape. And it's quite nice, actually. It's sort of, I can't find the end. Oh, it's quite thick. And just like dynamo, how do you pronounce it? Dynamo. I'm so glad we are going to ground their flowers. I'll cover my inky fingers, Mark. Brilliant, Lorna. But get a bit of tape. Just get a bit of tape or a piece of this from the edge of a book and cover your inky mark with that. But I'm going to put a little bit of this at the bottom of mine. Can't find any scissors. Dymo, that's it. I couldn't think of what it's called, Simona. Thank you. So I'm going to add, and it's just like a typewriter. It's lovely stuff. So I'm going to add a little bit. No, I'm going to add a bit there. No, I want less. A piece there. A piece, do you know, I'm going to add a piece there. And a teeny weeny piece to balance it out in the other corner. Just a tiny little piece to balance it out in the corner. Like so. Oh, I'm liking this tape. That's nice. I'm glad I bought that. So then I need my... Come on, Tracy. Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. A touch of white. That will be £20. What are you selling, Sue? I don't think there is any way to see his Instagram lives on Facebook. Not that I know of, Angie. Unless, like I do, I put my lives on YouTube. I don't know whether you can put Instagram lives on YouTube, but he could have a look into it. So I'm now going to add some splatters of white. That is perfect. Let me show you this close up now and explain. I spend a fortune anyway, Dawn. Oh, come on, I'm a crafter and a gardener. I spend a fortune. So what I've got here, if you look at this now, that card is done. Let me put it on a black mat. Look at this card on a black mat. Look at that on a black mat. Like so. Now on a black mat, it makes it sing. Ab said he was putting it on YouTube. Oh, maybe you will then, Shelley. Thank you. So what I've got here is, if you hold this card up, in a simple card, you've got the blended background, you've got the stamped squares, the white, what did I use to splatter? That was a Posca pen, Serena, a Posca paint pen in white. Now more of a hoarder. I'm a hoarder and everything. So here you can see that you've got the stenciling in white, you've got the stamping here, and it's a simple card, but it still draws the eye in. So I'm now going to do a quick jelly print background, just to show you another background with the same stamp set. Is that okay? So that's our first card, and I will share them and put them on YouTube. Exactly, it gives a nice balance. Exactly. Thanks, Leslie. That's what I like, a nice balance. That's perfectly put. So let's now do a gel press background. Here's the gel press background to show you the stamp can be used in different ways. What we could have also done, which we'll put on this one, is put the moments, because that's what we're talking about, special moments together. So I'm now going to do this gel press background, and I've forgotten the lady's name who asked me to do it in Messenger. Ooh, my memory. But we're going to do this background, but that shows you the stamp on a different background. So we're going to do that on a gel press. And here's another one, another couple of ideas for you using the same stamp set. Just so that you know, I have thought about the lives. So we're going to do this background. So I love my gel press. So let's get the gel press. So we've got the, I forgot what it's called now. The stencil. I've forgotten. Wood slice. I couldn't remember what I've got. No problem, Chris. Take care. I can't seem to use the gel press very well. Well, let's do a nice, easy background then. Exactly. You could create tape pieces or similar. Exactly, Karen. My background might be a bit hit and miss, because look at the state of my gel press. As you can see, it is well cleaned and well loved, because we don't want to over clean the gel press. We don't need to. So we're now going to do a gel press background, and this is because I was asked to try and do a simple background. Well, let's see if we can create this nice simple background, Patricia, so that it isn't too difficult for you. Just let me lift my iPad because my card's on there. Let's move some of this rubbish out the way because it's a total mess. These are the colours I'm going to be using. Let's move them along. So we have Paper Artsy Fresco Finish Paints, and we've got Khaki, Sage, Byzantium and Honeydew. A gel press, it's very squishy, and it's used for mono prints, Susan, which you'll see in a second, to make mono prints in a simple way, and really great fun as well for using with your inks and paints. What's that? Would like a gel press, but out of my price range at the moment. Oh, no problem, Jennifer. You can do a background maybe with applying the paint to a piece of card, put another piece of card on the top, peel them apart like we used to do when we were children. Hey presto, you've got some background. So when I apply the paint to the gel press, you apply your paint to the card. When the paint's on here, place the two cards together, peel them apart, and you've got two backgrounds. So if you haven't got a gel press, that's no problem at all. So we've now got these colours. So just remember, obviously I buy a lot of crafts because I'm just a nutcase and I love my crafts. So these are the colours that we're going to be using. Let's shove these all out the way so I can actually do something. We're now going to be using, move that, a piece of scrap card, two pieces of card. So I've got two pieces of white card, 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. I once used a real jelly square. Oh, did it work out, Lynn? Did it work when you used a real jelly square? I've now got a brayer because my other one is soaking in water to clean, so I'm using my new one. It's been christened. All my brayers are a right mess. So I'm now going to use these paints. So what we need to start with is, we're starting with these two colours. And if you notice, I tend to use opaques or semi-opaques, mainly because I like using those because it allows me to layer the colour one on top of the other and I don't make a muddy mess. So I like using the opaques. So I'm just going to give those a shake just so they come out nice and easy, hopefully. And I'm going to apply the sage to my gel press and the khaki to my gel press. That's two colours to my gel press. And just make sure this, and I'm just going to add a touch of purple of the Byzantium here on one side. Okay, so I've got a spare piece of card, my two paint colours and two pieces of card cut. So I'm now going to bray the paint over my gel press. Now the paper artsy paints dry a little quicker, so I just tend to work a little bit quicker. So I'm now going to add touches of this purple over my gel press. Don't press too hard because you don't want to remove too much of that green layer. And then what I'm going to do is place my stencil down on the gel press like so, and I'll take my first print. So this one really doesn't matter. I'm just taking a first print because I want to remove some of that colour, but I'm giving it a nice firm press just to remove some of the colour from the stencil. But look at that background you get, and all I've done is lift the colour from the stencil, and look at that for a background. Now you can't get easier than that for a gel press background, can you? Literally 3 colours on a gel press, stencil on the top, take the print. So I don't know why it's showing an angry face, probably because I'm waffling so much, Carol. So I've got a beautiful background and all I've done is lift the print. That's it. It is absolutely gorgeous, those colours are. So we'll leave that print there, and what we've got here, we've literally got, I don't know whether, let me just move some of this paint here. I don't think there'd be any paint on the stencil, but let's just check. So let's see if there's any paint left on here. Spritz with water. Spritz your stencil with water. Just let's see if there's any paint left on. I doubt it. Oh, remember your cloth, like Tom said. I doubt there'll be any paint left on here, but let's see if there is, because you'd get 3 prints. No, there's not much on there, but you've got a bit of a print. But that's how much paint you get left on. You're not wasting any paint at all. So it's not too much of a problem. So can you see here, we've got all this paint left. It's easy, Roz, honestly. Can you see this print on here? That's now dry. That is now dry. That isn't off me, that's off the paint before. This is now dry. Now you can go away and make a cup of tea, do anything you like. That can stay drying on there as long as you want. Don't worry about it. It can stay there as long as you want. And what you need to do then is reactivate that layer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the honeydew. And I love the honeydew. I just use a thin layer. So the honeydew will lift these dry layers. But I like the honeydew because it gives it a vintage tone. So I'm just going to add a little blob of the paint, like so, maybe a little bit more than that. That's it. And then we're going to lift this print. So apply the honeydew over. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's still visible. The print is underneath the layer. That's how thin I'm adding the paint. So I'm then going to press onto the background. So I'm now just burnishing that. So if you've got dexterity problems, do it with your fist. And that will just make sure that you make sure that it makes good contact with your gel press. So just give it with your fist or your elbow or whatever. Just don't use any sharp implements. And give that a lift. and then we should get a wonderful background, which we do. Let me just move this out the way. Here's your background. Look at your two backgrounds from two simple prints. Oh, you haven't used your brayer? Wow, no. I use my brayer all the time. And that, nothing precise, nothing, you know, I mean, the consistency of the actual paint, how much to place on the plate. That genuine normally depends on the paint. Some paints are thicker than others. If they're quite thick, they take a bit more to spread. But with these fresco finish paints, you only need like a pea-sized amount and you can brayer it over. But what you have to remember is, even if you haven't got enough paint and it dries, just use a lighter colour over whatever's dried and you get this. But look at that print. It's just gorgeous. And I adore this one because of that vintage tone in the background. But I love them both. But for the sake of a bit of paint and the stencil, what a wonderful background. I just love it. So now we'll finish a quick card and then we'll let you go. What time is it? I'm just watching for Abs. I want to finish before Abs goes live. So what we're going to do now is, this is the card that I brayered off on. So what I'm going to do is I'll use that for stamping my flower on. I will also use a die cut circle. Hopefully I've got my ink pad somewhere. Yes. Can you use oxide inks? Absolutely, you can use oxide inks. It gives you a totally different look, but yes, you can use oxide inks, but it does give you a different look. No problem, Simona, see you soon. So yes, it does give you a different look, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a die cut circle and I'm using Wilted Violet Distress Oxide ink and I'm going to blend the colour around the circle. I'm going to speed up a little bit, 15-20 minutes before Abs. Okay, I'll just speed up a little bit just so that I'm not intruding on Abs's time. So I'm just adding Wilted Violet around the outside edge just to give me a spotlight, and that will give me a spotlight. So I've got a beautiful background ready for my flowers. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad you're going to give it a try, Liz. And if anybody is inspired by anything on the live and you make something inspired by the live, if you tag me in it and if you share this Facebook Live, that would be much appreciated. But if you share any artwork and you tag me, I'm going to draw a winner randomly in a couple of days for the prize. I will show you the prize, but we'll just get this card done if I can actually find my stamp. I've put it down and can I find it? There we go. So I'm now going to add my flower image. Sorry, I'm just moving it out the way because I need to ink it. Just ink my flower. We'll make it a nice simple card. We'll just add one flower. We won't go too over the top. Thank you, Dawn. We'll just add one flower. We won't go too much because we're running out of time with Abs. So what we've got here is we're going to add a bit of purple. This was the background that I brayered onto from the gel press. I don't know where the time goes, to be honest. If I'm honest, it just vanishes. So I'm just going to brayer some purple on this background, like so, okay? I'm going to have to give that a dry, just so that I can stamp my flower on the top. Wish I still wasn't working. So much I want to do. Oh, bless you working, Kim. Maybe you'll get some time at the weekend or later in the evening, maybe. I must admit I'm making a right mess at the back of here. I know that much. So now I'm going to ink my flower head and go over some of this so I can use it. So I can use this background for lots. There we go. So what you need to do, you need to remember that you've stamped this onto a painted background. Oh, bless you, Angie. That is so kind. Thank you so much. So, and we don't take it for granted, honestly, Angie. I really appreciate that. This here is stamped onto paint, so you need to blot that. So we're just blotting that. So we blot that, and then we can cut our flower out. I'm surprised I can see. I've even given up cleaning my space now because I know that time is running away with me. I didn't realise I'd kept you so long. I do apologise. The time went so quick. I just lost track of time. But I'm just trying to give you as much as possible to inspire you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add that there. Let's get my glue, like so. Come on, Tracy. I'll hold the other card up as well. No problem. See you soon. Thanks, Sue. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Sue. So I'm then going to add that flower there. I'm then going to add a touch of background stamping. I've just chucked everything over here so I can't see a thing. There it is. Touch of background stamping. I could stamp the squares if I wanted to. Touch of background stamping. I'll hold this up so you can see. Don't worry. I will hold this up so you can see it all. That's plenty. Then I'm going to add a little piece. Where's it gone? Where's that tape gone? You see, when you start rushing, you start losing everything. Where did I put that little piece of tape? Here it is. A little piece of that tape. I will hold both cards up so you can see. Oh, crikey. More haste, less speed. I don't know where the end of it is now. There it is. So, Tracy, Crafting with a Chanda, have changed the posting rules in case you post in there. Read them first. Oh, thanks, Dawn. I didn't know they'd changed the posting rules. So I'm glad you reminded me about that. Thank you. I'm now going to add this to ground my flower. I'm now going to use... Where's that moment stamp? Oh, do you know? You see, when you disappear, I can find everything. When I'm live, I can't find a thing. Where's that moment stamp? Don't suppose you can see the moment stamp, can you? Staring down at the camera. I can't see my moment stamp. Where's that gone? Never mind. Let's use something else. What's this? Let's use floral. Okay, so we're now going to stamp a sentiment, like so, onto the same background that we created when we braided off. So we're now going to stamp that. Stamp this on a bit of this card, like so. So if you use a piece of card, is it under the oxides? That's a good point. No? How can you... what amazes me is how you lose so much on a Facebook Live. Seriously. If any of you ever do a Facebook Live, just watch how much stuff you lose. Seriously. The desk just eats the products. And I've chucked gallons on the floor. I really should span my camera around just so that you could see what an absolute disaster and wreck my craft room is when I'm crafting live. Because it's hilarious. That's the one thing you don't see is how much of a mess we make. It's so funny. Like so. I'm now going to add this here. And what I'll do is, have we got grey? We don't seem to have grey. I'll add that there, like so. A few splatters, like so. And then let's bring the other card up so that you can see. Let's bring the cards up and the backgrounds so you can see what we've created on our Facebook Live. This is what we've created in the Facebook Live. I know, I'm going to have to tidy before we do the book. It's going to be a disaster. Let me just lift it up there. So that's what we've created during the live. Now, if any of you are inspired by anything from the Facebook Live, if you can tag me. Sorry it was a bit of a rush at the end because I don't want to override and go on Absy's time. So if you're inspired by anything, it's not just on a Facebook Live, lose everything. There's no more on my blog. Honestly, Angie, I'm in such a mess. So if you're inspired by anything on the Facebook Live, tag me, and then I'll draw a winner. Let me show you the prize. So let me move these out the way, and this is the prize. And if you share the Facebook Live, that's much appreciated. So this is the prize. You're going to win this stamp set. Thank you, Carmen. This stamp set which says, "You have been my friend, and that in itself is a tremendous thing." And the reason I'm giving that away is because you've all been great friends. Even if you're virtual, you're still virtual friends. So I thought that was perfect. I'm going to give away these 2 wooden pieces so that you can decorate them. It's 2 wooden pieces. You're going to get an embroidery hoop. You're going to get these 2 pots, which are like a plasticky resin that you can paint. You could add the flowers if you get any flowers. I've got you some vintage letters. I've got your magnifying glass, because that was inspired from my Sunday Live. And you've got 2 MDF plaques. So if you'd love to share, that would be much appreciated. If you tag me in any of your makes, and I hope you enjoyed the live, even though it was a bit rushed at the end. And I'd love to see your makes. I hope you all stay safe. And even if you can just do one thing each day, it just motivates you. This live's motivated me, and it's cheered me up a little bit. So I hope you feel a little bit more cheery. Take care, everybody. Don't forget Abs live on Instagram. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye. Bye. It now won't let me finish. Let's try again. See you soon. Bye.